and educational background makes her eminently qualified to be having this conversation with us. Dr. Tonia has worked with clients such as Hands On Atlanta, Team Leaders of America, Junior Statesmen of America, Junior Leagues, Centers for Disease Control, the Department of Justice, and many more. Her training and workshops help empower professionals to be more effective communicators and more impactful leaders. More specifically today, her goal is to make you more effective digital marketers of your own businesses by transforming likes to leads. And she dives into the question today, how to go from likes to leads. Dr. Tonia, it's so great to have you back on the Daily Huddle. Welcome.
Thank you. I feel like, I'm at home. I'm not a guest anywhere. It's my fourth time?
You are at home.
I feel
Not
like,
only is
yes.
this your fourth time, it's probably, this is the beginning of a string in a series.
This is true. This is
Yeah.
true. I mean, definitely, I am so excited about what I have to share today. I was sharing with you earlier. I mean, I have so much that I want to share. I don't know how I'm going to fit it all into 12 minutes. So I'm definitely going to have
It's
to keep sweating on.
9:07. I'm going to speak the microphone to you. And at 9:20, I'll go like this and we'll get the audience engaged.
No.
So how do we go from likes to leads, Dr. Phanor?
Yes. So this was a question that I didn't even really consider. Obviously, I mean, I was on social media for, I don't know, when did Facebook come out? At least early 2000s. And I've been consulting and speaking, and I've had books since early 2000s, but I didn't really see myself. I was also a full-time educator. So I taught communication courses at various universities and really just saw myself in that space. And I just used social media to post and keep up with friends. And, you go on vacation and you do this, but really in 2020, well, even earlier than that, I made the shift, like, you're a business owner and everything you need to do needs to impact your bottom line. Like, yes, it's nice to have likes, it's nice to, be popular, but I'd rather have profit over popularity. And so I made the shift and also became a full-time coach and consultant as well. And so that made me look at things a lot differently when, your business is how you survive. And so definitely I made the shift and began to really look at, what you're posting, how you're posting. And, so I'm going to talk about 3 areas. I'm a speech communication consultant as well as professor. So I love alliteration. So we're going to talk about 3 C's. So 3 C's to turn those likes into leads. And so the first C is clarity. To really have clarity on what you have to provide. Like, what are you offering to? So for me, I'm a communication coach. Basically, I teach people how to speak, whether that is in person for public speaking, online, interculturally, corporately. All of that basically is how to speak. And so anything dealing with that is my area. And who do I reach? Business owners. So you need clarity on what you provide and who is your main target audience. Because everything you design and everything you develop for your content should be targeted towards that target audience. And this is for any communication that you're doing. It should be audience, whether you're giving a speech, whether you're doing a post, always start with your audience and then what you have to share for that audience. And so that is because I think that most people, they go online, they don't even have a clear reason why. They're just, spending time, not really paying attention. They might post something, but they're not really thinking about what the end result of this, should be. And so getting real clear on who you serve, what you serve, and how you're going to reach them. So for me, actually, Sorrel found me on LinkedIn. And I started going hard in LinkedIn in 2020. I didn't even use it that much before, but I work with business owners and founders. And so that makes sense. I do training for different companies. And so it was definitely an area. And that's actually how me and Sorrel met. And so if I was not consistent, well, I'm going into my next topic, but consistency. So you need to consistently be delivering content that converts. And so the Daily Huddle is a phenomenal example of that. I mean, let's give a hand to the Daily Huddle for every single morning giving us valuable content. Like, I don't know if you all realize the level of commitment and uh, just tenacity that it to show up, to fully show up every single morning. And they started, what, did you start during the pandemic? Like in the midst of all this craziness?
2020.
And so in the most difficult time to show up when everyone's at home in their pajamas, they said, we're going to show up every day and give business owners the content they need to be successful. So, my kudos to you, because it's so important that you have consistently. I do Monday motivation every Monday. And actually I started during 2022 because I just felt like if there's ever a time people need to be motivated, it's now. Like it was discouraging. It was a very difficult time. And so I started doing that. And I, as far as posting on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, I do that every week. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, Dr. Tonia Phanor. And definitely I post, a Monday motivational, usually dealing with some aspect of communication too, so that people can begin to see you as the authority in that particular space, that they actually, one, know what you do. There's clarity as to what you provide, because I know for me, I know many people, they knew I was an educator. They knew that I did some communication. They maybe knew that I had books, but you really need to tell them, what it is that you do and begin to promote that consistently. And people notice a difference. In 2020, they were like, okay, I see you. And so as the more I posted, the more invites I got to shows like this and other podcasts. And so I just made a decision really before the pandemic in January. I said, I want to be speaking at least twice a month somewhere. Did not know, we were going to go into the pandemic later that year, and I said, okay, I need to pivot here. How am I going to shift that? And so I started going online and speaking for myself, which led to other paid speaking events and trainings online. And so I didn't know how that was going to, turn out at first, because most of my clients before had come from live events, live networking events, conferences. I did all my coaching in person. So I definitely totally shifted everything in 2020 and began, posting more live, providing, more content, live webinars, and consistently doing those things to add value for potential clients and current clients. And so having that clarity, having that consistency in how you're providing content to your audience, your target audience, because you just don't want just anybody. You want your target audience to be present and watching. And so that's like I said, that's when I start using LinkedIn. If certain social media outlets are not going to really reach your target audience, those are things you need to research and see, okay, what's the most effective for the people that you are trying to reach. And LinkedIn, I don't really do a whole lot of personal sharing on. I don't think that it's wrong necessarily, that people do business with people they like. And so it's not that likes are a problem. Like it's okay, to be likable. But for me, I'm really more sharing content and value. And not that you can't share personal things, but just be mindful that you want people to be able to connect with you on a professional level. And, one thing when I was teaching college, I'm teaching my college students, then I definitely was like, don't share anything on social media that you don't want the whole world to see, or when you're interviewing, or when you're going for a job interview, or doing different things, because this is all part of your brand. You're building your brand. Everything you post, everything that you do online is a part of either your personal brand, your business brand. And so you want it to be representative of you. So clarity, consistency in providing content that creates. Also, testimonials are a great way to provide content that converts into actual business. People love to hear from you about your business, but I have Manisha's on the line, Kendra's on the line. Those are two of my clients. Manisha shared testimonials for me. Like, it's better for them to hear from people who have worked with you. And so I'll post just little quotes from clients, little videos, if I interview them, and just share about their experience. That's always great. LinkedIn has a referral space where people can give you referrals. And so those are the things that you want to continue to post to add to your authenticity as a reputable business, as well as showing yourself as an authority in that space. And so making sure, you do things like that, that people can see that you're doing, what you say you're doing, and people are seeing the results of it. So that's always great. So clarity, consistency, and contact. So what good is it if you provide all this great value and all this great content and people don't know how to reach you? So make sure that when you're posting, that whether they're going to message you, but you want to have some way to get them off that social media platform into your space, whether that is through a meeting, whether that is through your own webinar website. You want to be able to have that consistent follow-up with them. So you don't want to just have that one time, post that they read, but you want to be able to follow up with them at a later date, because the finance is in the follow-up. And if you're not following up with the people that you're connecting with, then you're not going to be able, to sustain your business. And so definitely you want to have a way where they message you, you can meet with them, and that you can continue to add value and stay connected with them. Even if Facebook, Meta and all of that, if it dies tomorrow, you don't want to lose all your contacts. So you definitely want, which I doubt, it is, but I'm just saying, you definitely want to be able to follow up. And I know, many of you registered today for Daily Huddle, that's what it's about. You're supposed to, they have a way to contact you after this. And whatever you do, you always want to be able to capture that information so that you can let them know about future things you're doing and other things to make sure, they stay connected and that you continue to provide them value. And then they can also reach back out to you. They know how to contact you as well. And so there's so much I would say, but the last thing I want to say is, no matter what you do, be sure to show up. And whether that is in your lives, like today, y'all could give a mini, like Sorrel already knows, I'm going out of town. We've got a lot of things going on, but there's no excuse. Like, I got to be ready to show up in mind, body, and spirit. Like, mentally, I need to be here giving you all great content. Body, like, you should, look nice, like you need. I know we're in the pandemic, like, show up, be dressed fully, not party on the top, party on the bottom, professional on the top. You've seen how that can go wrong. But definitely show up fully for your audience. Whether I'm getting paid thousands of dollars to do a training online or I'm doing a free training, I'm going to show up fully and make sure that I give absolute value. So let me show you how much I showed up for you all today. See that? That's how I showed up for y'all today. You can't see my shoes, but I'm showing up for y'all.
Dr. Phanor, this is great. So 3 C's to convert likes into leads. I have a couple of questions just to peel the onion a little bit. on the first C and then the second. So on the first C, we've got clarity. When you post content that targets your client, how do you structure the content? Do you have sort of a set structure for the content? And how long is too long? Do people actually read a long post? How do you
So
structure
the
content to be
so
effective?
the majority of the content I post is usually in video, or I do provide some written content, but you know what? People today are not readers. So if you do provide a lot of writing, you either have to break it up and try not to make it too long, but in, bullet points and different things. If they see a lot of text, most people are just going to scroll right past that. I do videos every week because obviously people are more likely to engage with videos, but even that, I don't do super long videos. My Monday motivationals are about 2 to 3 minutes, and more just enough to give you some value and some kind, but not too long, because people are scrolling through. And as far as organizing that, we're getting into my coaching, so I could have Manisha or some Rick teach how to organize. I provide actually a template that if you email me or if you go to Dr. Tonia Phanor, info@drtoniaphanor.com, I can send that template to those that are on the line today. And basically, with anything you do, there's an introduction, body, and conclusion. And so you don't have to change that structure, whether you're doing a speech, whether you're doing a post, whether you're doing a webinar. The intro, you want to set it up. I let you know clearly what we're going to talk about today. The 3 C's, we're going to be clarity, consistency, content. You let them know where you're going. You go there, you provide that content, and then you sum it up at the end. So that's, the basic organization with anything that you do. Someone just asked for my email. I just do info
And
at Dr. Tonia Phanor. Okay, so yeah, so be sure that you can organize it in a way. I don't just get on live and not have a plan. And so, or, you should have some type of organization
so
to how you.
about the second C, consistency.
Mhm.
How often is too often? I mean, could you be a nag by
So
posting
now there is
much?
what's called, marketing fatigue, and you can, and then there's people like Manisha who do this for a living, and professional, marketers that can do it for you. But personally, me, I am not posting 3-4 times a day. I have 3 kids, I have a life, I have other, I have clients I need to meet with. So for me, I'm not posting that often. You can either hire other people to do that for you. But for me, I do something maybe once a day to just touch base. And that's on different, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, you have to decide what's for you. But it can be overwhelming if you feel like you have to do something or do 2 or 3 things every day, and you want to provide quality. And so personally for me, I'm not posting all the time, but when I do post, I'm bringing value and I'm bringing content, and I'm following up, because that is, I feel like, more important than you posting all the time, in that if you're not really making that connection with your audience outside of social media.
Tara's got a question for you. Go
Good
ahead, Tara.
morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for all this great value in a short period of time. You talked about launching those live webinars, and it has been recommended to me time and time again. And in full transparency, I'm afraid no one will show up. So tell me how to get started with that.
Yeah, and actually, that's what I do. That's what I do as a coach. And I know that it can be challenging when you're first starting out. I have done, I don't even know how many webinars at this point, probably 20, 30, maybe more webinars. And when I first started off, I did have a few webinars that people didn't show up to. But guess what? I still showed up, and I still presented and recorded it and did the replay. And what I obviously when I first started it, I didn't know all the things, that I know now, but there are ways that you can make sure, well, at least incentivize people from showing up, making sure you're doing like you need to do a launch basically, where you're launching that webinar, and that is 2 to 3 weeks out. And so like with this, I post the flyer, you want to be doing things consistently. And on LinkedIn is great because when you do live webinars on there, then you can not only schedule a live, but make sure and follow up with the people who, said they're interested. And so there's different things that, you can do, but it can be scary. But let's not think of what if all the negative things. What if people do show up? I had a LinkedIn webinar earlier this year or last year. And for one, over 100 people responded, and people showed up from all over the world. And obviously, and it led to other clients. And so what if people do show up? And what are you missing out on by not doing it? Even if 2 people, like that's 2 clients you wouldn't have had if you hadn't done the webinar. And I've gotten contracts from webinars. I've gotten, I got a major contract actually last year from doing one webinar on LinkedIn. And that's the one where people showed up. But when she saw the engagement, and it obviously gave, I don't know if you do training outside of that, then people can see what you do. And that's how I was booked for that contract, to do an accelerator program to train business leaders how to pitch their product to investors. So it definitely, it will pay. Like there's no scenario where it won't be advantageous to you, whether, even if it's practice, even if you get a few clients from it, even with posts, you may not get a whole likes. I've had a post that did not have a whole likes, but I got a speaking contract from it that one person saw it and said, hey, I want you to come speak to our staff about this, and so just do it. Just do it. And obviously, there's people like me here that are here to help you design and create a communication plan for that. I'm actually thrilled that I'm going to do a communication strategy session for those who are here today at a discounted rate, and a webinar after this, because I said I have so much more content to provide on this topic. And so I'm going to put the link in the chat if you want more information and you're interested in having a plan for how you want to do this. And I help get over the nerves and overcome that, which is common. Most people do not like to, whether it's public speaking or show up in all those different regards. But if you are interested in a one-on-one strategy session with me or the webinar, I'm going to do, usually I charge hundreds of dollars for that, but for Daily Huddle, because you all are so awesome, I'm going to give it at a discount rate, and I'll put that in the
Thank you for that, Dr. Phanor.
Yes.
And everything you've just said that pertains to a webinar also applies for just going live. If you're going live on a video for like 2 minutes or 1 minute. So Tara, have at it. I'm waiting for the next slide. Any other questions or comments before I give Dr. Phanor her last comment for the day? All right, so Dr. Phanor, what is your last comment for the day?
My last comment for the day is that people are waiting on you. There are problems that you are called to solve, and your being shy is not helping them. You have to go out and share this solution and gift you have to give to the world. And if you don't, then that's the blessing that they're missing out on, or you being able to help them. And so I just encourage you that this is bigger than you, that this is about all the people that you can help and that will benefit from the services that you provide.
Well said. So just do it. Whatever it is you have to provide, the world needs it, or somebody needs it. It doesn't matter how many. So thank you. And we're going to close today as we usually do. Love, Love everyone in your life, especially the ones you love to hate. Stress less. Life's not that significant. You know, you're going to wake up one day and you're not going to know you woke up. Like you're going to be dead. Stress less. Life's too short. Laugh out loud. And eat. I stress the word mostly. Eat mostly plant-based. You know, if you want to sneak something in every now and then, Tara, go for it. And then wash it over with a ton of vegetables. Eat mostly plant-based. Give, be generous. The more you give, the more the universe showers you with her gratitude. And last but not least, sleep. And when you wake up, shake what your mama gave you. Move. We'll see you here on the Daily Huddle, as always, every morning from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. On Monday, it's Money Mondays, and we're looking forward to seeing you then. Have a happy and safe Holy Weekend.
Thank you, Dr. Phanor. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great
Bye.
day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.